Kahapon po ay May 1. May 1 is an international day which celebrates a major sector of all of human society, which is the labor sector. Napaka-importante po ito. At bago po natin bitiwan at when we go to other stories later on, I wanted to dwell a few minutes about the importance of this. No? Medyo nakakalungkot lang po na nabalitaan namin na kahapon ang karaingan na lumalabas dito sa ating mga nagrarally noong May 1 dito sa Quezon City Circle ay ang paghingi ng karagdagan ayuda ng mga manggagawa sa ating pamahalaan dahil po, siyempre mahirap ang buhay ngayon at nakikita na po natin ang kahirapan. Pero nakatutok po sila dito sa ayuda. Well, hindi po sila nakatutok dito sa trabaho kasi ang sinabi sa amin, hindi daw nila pwedeng ihingin ang jobs, more jobs at trabaho dahil may COVID nga at napipilitan mag-lockdown daw ang pamahalaan. Kaya naiintindihan nila na hindi pwedeng pumasok dito sa jobs. Kaya ang hihingin nila ngayon, ayuda. Well, nakakalungkot lang po dahil ang pagtingin natin dito sa sitwasyon na ito, napaka-importanting araw na May 1. It's Labor Day for all over the world. Right. Ganito ang ating pinupuntirya. Dapat po siguro iangat natin ang pag-uusap dito. Bagamat mayroon tayong mga problemang ganito, dapat po siguro iangat natin ang tingin natin dito sa labor as a concept. Kadalasan po ang mga analyst, mga eksperto kuno
dalunhasa, mga economists.
Ang sinasabi nila, manggagawa, labor, tapos ang kapitalista papasok, tapos maghahanap ng labor, ganyan talaga. At kung walang kapitalista, walang magiging trabaho, kaya importante itong... Alam niyo po, hindi ko itutulak masyado, pero dahil ito'y nanggagaling po sa simbahang Katoliko, nagkaroon po ng isang encyclical. Ang encyclical po ay isang official na position ng simbahan Katoliko tungkol dito sa labor. Ang title nito in Latin is Laborem Exercens.
No, Exercens.
Ano ba yung English?
Through work.
Through work. Noong panahon po ni St. John Paul II nung linabas ito. Hindi ko na ilalabas lahat, pero ang importance natin makikita dito, kung babasahin nyo, at ako'y, maski na hindi kayo Katoliko, no, i-check nyo lang at basahin nyo ang pananaw, sa akin pong ang tamang pananaw tungkol dyan sa labor. Unang-una, ang prinsipyo na ang tao ay may ang tawag dito, hindi lang kakayanan, may role, may ginagampanan. Unang-una ito, may ginagampanan ang tao dito sa God's creation. Lahat ng ginawa. Now, ang tao may ginagampanan na role. He participates in God's creation. Naintindihan niyo po? Kaya, for example, pag sasabihin natin ng bahay galing sa Diyos, pero ang participation po ng man is to put and build that house, no? At yun po ang pero lahat yan tinatawag natin as God's creation. Kasi po yung man ginagamit yung kanyang binigay na o taglay na kakayanan of creativity and skills, knowledge of science, no? And physical labor. At gagamitin niya para gumawa ng bahay o gumawa ng kotse o gumawa ng kung ano-ano ang bagay. That is what we call the totality of God's creation. In other words, we are participating in God's creation. Kung hindi tayo nagpa-participate, wala tayong kotse. Kasi hindi natin gagawin. Pero yung panggawa ng kotse, binigay sa atin ang kakayanan para makagawa ng kotse. That's what we mean by joining up with God, participating with God in making that car. God can, of course, snap His fingers and merong kotse. Pero tayo, ang role natin talaga gumawa nun using the mind, the creativity that is given to us, no, to do that. So we participate in this creation. Okay, that portion's clear. Kung ang sinasabi, kung ang role at ginagampanan ng tao ay magkaroon ng mag-participate in God's creation. Gusto sabihin, ito yung labor, no? Ibig sabihin, unang-una, ang kapital o ang pera o yung kapitalista, no, ay hindi mas importante sa labor. Kasi yung labor ang may tunay na ginagampanan na role in God's creation. Pero yung kapitalista wala pong role. Kung talagang magkakaroon silang role, parang nandito lang sila katabi ng labor. No? At yung kapitalista, pwedeng nandyan o pwedeng wala. Pero ang hindi pwedeng mawala ay ang gobyerno. Ito, ang sinasabi ko sa inyo, ito po'y isang summary lang kung paano tinitignan ang role ng labor. Ang importanteng nandyan ay ang gobyerno. Ang gobyerno ay meron ding ginagampanan na role dito sa Laborem Exercens through labor. The government is duty-bound to create the conditions so that labor and the people can participate in God's creation. Isipin natin mabuti yan. I don't mean to be lecturing on something religious because this is not a religious thing. This is a concept of how important labor is, no? In the scheme of things that has been created by God, no? Ang importante, ang gobyerno, pag hindi gumawa ng paraan para magkaroon ng trabaho ang tao, yung gobyernong yon ay labag. Lumalabag sa batas o paningin ng Diyos. Kasi ang role ng government, isa yon, is to create the conditions so man participates in God's creation. Pag wala kang ginawa para magkaroon ng trabaho ang tao, malaking kasalanan ginagawa mo. Ang kung man magkakaroon ka ng pamamaraan, gagamitin mo ang resources ng gobyerno para gumawa ng patakarampang ekonomiya para may trabaho ang tao. Now, kung minsan kakailanganin mo ang tulong ng kapitalista, dito papasok yung kapitalista para maikompleto natin yung pamamaraan para pumasok, para magkaroon tayo ng kung ano man ang gusto nating kaunlaran. I hope I am clear on this, no? Because this is a very important principle. Minsan, ang mga tao, ang iniisip nila, kapitalista muna. Pagkatapos maghahanap sila ng trabahador para aandar yung ekonomiya. Yung mga ibang ekonomista natin na ngayon nandyan sa ating pamahalaan, ganyan po ang tingin nila. Sa akin po, malaking kamalian yan. Hindi lang labag sa tamang pag-iisip, labag din sa utos ng Diyos. And this has nothing to do with ideology. Pag sinabi natin, labor is more important than capital, o komunista na. Hindi po ganyan. Mag-isip kayo. This is not what that means. So I hope later on, if you want questions, I would clarify them. Ang encyclical po, ang pangalan, Laborem Exercens. No? Through labor. Since through labor, we participate in God's creation. Okay.
I want to add.
Yes.
Ako naman, I would look at it also. In history po, there was an economist named Henry Carey. Now, Henry Carey was the economist working with Abraham Lincoln po in the 1840s, 1850s. Okay? And Henry Carey was against what they call free trade and liberal capitalism. And he is credited now as to being one of the founding fathers of the fathers of the American system of political economy. And Henry Carey po, si Henry Carey po, C-A-R-E-Y. Siya po hindi tinuturo sa atin sa school. And this individual po was a champion of what they call the productive powers of labor. Okay? And it's the same echo, it is echoed by Lyndon Larouche and even us as KDP. So kailangan baguhin natin ang konsepto ng labor. Sa kanyang mga trabaho, babasahin ko lang po para clear, and then we will explain it. Like Alexander Hamilton, the first Treasury Secretary of the United States, Carey asserted that wealth was not based in silver and gold or money, but wealth of a nation is based on fostering, supporting, and nurturing the productive powers of labor. To achieve prosperity, sabi niya, labor, capital, and at that time agriculturists, but we can say government, must work together in what he calls the harmony of interest. His book, may mga libro siya, by this name, documents how a protectionist policy fosters such harmony. He wrote the economics platform of which Lincoln was nominated for president, and supplied his own students and associates for the Lincoln administration program of industrial and infrastructure development. Pero hindi lang po sa US. Kaya lumaki yung US dahil sa taong ito. Because he wrote the blueprint and he was against free trade, against New World Order, against the bankers that wanted, the globalists that wanted to continue free trade. And ano. So sabi niya, Carey also played a role in promoting this American system in relation to Russia, Japan, and Germany. Kaya lumaki at this time yung Russia, Japan, and Germany. He was against and opposed to the British Empire style of free trade and against the Opium Wars that they launched in China. And he wrote many articles against British free trade. So this is the kind of guy is. Sabi niya rin, one of Henry Carey's major emphasis was opposition to Malthusianism, which he said was at the core of the British laissez-faire system. Sabi ni Henry Carey, yung Malthusianism, na-discuss na po natin, depopulation. To the contrary, sabi ni Henry Carey, with the development of new technologies and the proper government policy of infrastructure development, there was no need to worry about overpopulation. So ito po yung isang pinaka, I would say, one of the founding fathers of the American system and created the blueprint on which America built and industrialized.
Right.
Pero importante sa kanya, sabi niya, yung labor, sabi niya, the British free trade system cheapens the labor of man.
Right.
Well, the American system values it, brings it higher. So nobody will want cheap labor. You value labor. So yung konsepto po ng cheap labor, mahal dito, doon tayo papagawa. Hindi dapat ganon, sabi ni Henry. Hindi kayo magde-develop. Kasi it is a race to downward, pababa. Kung mas mura at mas murang hanapin mo. Pero chinichipen mo yung tao, yung productive power. I just wanted to add that.
No, it's important. It's important dahil hindi po nagkakaiba yan, no? Although coming from our Larouche organization, itong si Henry Carey, ang tunay na kayamanan ng isang bansa, no? Ng isang lipunan, ay ang productive powers ng kanyang mga tao. Yung kanilang creativity, yung kanilang
kung anong kaya nilang
gawin. Yun ang nurture, yun ang inaalagaan.
Yun ang yaman ng bansa.
Dinedevelop. Hindi yung pera, hindi yung gold or yung... Because by itself, it's nothing.
Yes.
Pero yung productive powers po, yun ang lumalabas na nagpapalaki, nagpapaano ng development.
What is like
Very
examples
important.
of productive powers? Like what? Agriculture.
Well, of course.
Manufacturing. Chemicals, di ba? Infrastructure, technology. The country that is the strongest, really the strongest country, is the ability to produce these things. To produce, to increase their agriculture. Magano tayo, increase our production of chicken or rice 10 times next year, di ba?
Yeah, tsaka meron silang, they can do that because you've got the skills
and the technology,
the creative powers to do that. And this is where we must see labor.
Yes.
And how more important it is to so-called capitalists, the way the British want to define what capitalism is.
Yes.
No?
Tsaka yung mga komunista, for example, they define labor as manggagawa lang, di hamak na manggagawa lang kayo.
Tsaka it is in contrast with capitalism. And yan ang palaging ginagawa ng mga komunista.
Ito, mayaman, mahirap.
Hindi po ganyan eh.
Hindi dapat ganyan.
Pero ang importante dyan yung gobyerno. Yung gobyerno has to create the conditions. At ito yung parameters. At ang concept ng gobyerno, palagi yung tao. No? The value of the human being to get into development and productive powers. No? And then the use of capital and government resources to see to it that the people have the jobs and the work to do it. Pag gumawa ka ng patakaran pang ekonomiya, na hindi nagbibigay ng trabaho sa tao, dapat palitan ka.
Correct.
Dapat palitan ka because you are going against the basic principles of how we should all be developed.
General welfare.
So the people and the human being in a society is always primordial.
Is the most important.
Kung gagawa ka ng economic program, ang dapat unang-unang makikinabang ay ang mamamayan. Hindi itong mga oligarko, hindi itong mga nasa gobyerno, no? Hindi yan ang dapat nakikinabang. Ang unang-unang nakikinabang. Yan ang direksyon dapat ng ating ekonomiya. Itong mga ibang mga ngayon na sa atin, kasi ginagawa nilang free market. Sige, free market na lang, tapos let the weak ones fall by the wayside.
Matira matibay.
Matira matibay, hindi po ganyan. No? Yan ang kasamaan talaga, ang kalaban po ng tunay na tamang patakaran ng ekonomiya.
As a republic, if we call ourselves the Republic of the Philippines, that's what we will value. Because a republic, every time we talk about nationalism or patriotism, ano bang punot dulo niyan? Na ang tao ay sovereign, is a sovereign being that should be allowed to decide its own. Now, as a collective, lahat tayo, under the state, under government, if we call ourselves a republic, then it is our power, the people's power to decide, dito tayo pupuntang pang-ekonomiya. We should develop technologies and infrastructure to benefit the people, not for money.
The reason we wanted to talk about this segment because of yesterday's May 1, to be the
Labor Day.
Labor Day here and Labor Day internationally,
Right.
and the importance and value of labor. That's why we must celebrate it together with everybody. Hindi porque hindi ka laborer, hindi ka kasali dyan. Hindi po. Itong nangyayari ngayon. Dapat ang Labor Day must be participated on by everybody, including government.
In the right context.
In the right context. That's why, no? If we put it in the right context, then it is a day really of celebration.
Right.
Not of creating a division between government, capitalists, and labor. Hindi po ganyan.
Yeah.
If we must look at it from that context, then you will see and you will be able to understand many of the things that we will be taking up here on economic programs. No?